collection, and essentially, like collecting data is just collecting information from all sorts of levels, and so we take all these samples. So we're really going to focus on sampling. So we're going to learn 4 types of sampling. Okay.
A sample is just a portion of the population. Population is the same as census. It's everyone. All right. So I can say I need to survey 10 students out of year 8, or 10 students out of year 7, or 10 students out of year 10. All right. That's a sample. Instead of surveying everybody in a year group, I'm picking a few students to see how we're going. Now, there's different types of samples. I need you to write this down. There's a random sample, which an example of that is using a random name generator or picking somebody out of a hat, all right? There's no rule to it. It's just like, let's see what comes up, or you shuffle a deck of cards and you're all assigned a card and you pull it out. That's random. There's a systematic sample, and there's systematic samples. There's many ways that you can do it, but essentially there's a system to getting it. So, for example, here we go. You choose every 5th person on the roll, okay? Or every person born between the 12th and the 15th of every month. And in actual fact, that's the way that governments have done in the past, where they've chosen people to go to war. When they've conscripted you, which means that you have to go, they use a system, all right? Because they didn't want to be seen to be biased or like choosing sides, so they just chose a system. So maybe everyone that was born in November has to go to war. You know, things like that. So there's a system to it. So it's systematic. And the last one is stratified example. Okay. Now, stratified example is like a ratio of it. So, for example, if there are 60 girls and 40 boys in year 8, and I choose 10 students, I will choose 6 girls and 4 boys. All right. So I can't choose more boys than girls. I have to choose in the same ratio. So they are chosen with the same ratio. And this one's really important because, like, if I wanted to survey everybody in the school about uniform and I only pick girls, I'm not really surveying the whole school. I'm surveying the girls in the school. So a stratified sample is actually really important. Okay, so just think about that. Okay, census or sample. All right, so this is an example that we can do together. I don't know what happened there. A sample, census is everyone. So if I did a census of 7B, it means I surveyed everyone in 7B. Okay, so remember, census is everyone. All right. If I sample is just a part. If I did a sample of this class, it means I chose I chose 3 students of the class. All right. And we do that a lot. We always do samples. And we do that with SRC. We do it whenever we represent that. We do in government. We have people that go, all right, we need some people from this electorate to go into government and explain things. All right. So sample is just a part of the class. All right. One more example to go. If I pick students with the last name starting with B, C, G, and H to do a survey on homework, what kind of sample is it? It's definitely a sample. And it looks like there's a system to it. So I would say it's systematic, all right? Not random, doesn't look like it's random. They're not drawing a name out of a hat or anything like that. And there's no sort of like ratio to it, okay? All right, same question. If I pick students by picking their names from a hat with all the names in it, well, I talked about this. What kind of sample is it? It's random, all right? It's just like, that's luck of the draw, and let's see how we go. All right.
Right, so we've learned about random samples, stratified samples, and systematic samples. But there's one more type of sampling that we haven't covered, and that's self-selected sampling. And that's where, like, they ask for, you can ask for volunteers to answer surveys or volunteers to take a trial in something. So there's no system, there's no name in the hat. It's just simply a volunteer basis, and let's see what we can get back from that. So, for example, can we have volunteers to answer this survey on school uniform? That could be a self-selected sample. So that's the last type of sample there is. All right, that's it. Peace out.